Hey, welcome to Viewpoints On episode 21.
Oh, wow.
We're not old enough to gamble.
Go to Vegas.
Yeah.
Have a wild and crazy weekend.
Get some alcohol. We're good to go. So we've got a somewhat busy show. So let's start with Heroes.
Yeah.
On Monday was...
It was supposed to be the first episode that Brian Filler had a hand in.
Yeah.
So I was hoping for a triumphant return to its former glory. Not quite.
No. A lot of... It just... I don't know how we can describe crap. It's just over and over.
Just crap. Just crap.
Nathan is like the worst character on television.
Oh,
it's
he's so awful.
How he's done stupid things before and then learned at the last minute, oh, probably shouldn't have done this.
Here's what I don't get. Nathan and Claire, they're the stupidest people, the most boring characters, and they continue to have the entire show revolve around them.
Yeah.
And it's just, it's maddening.
Yeah, we got our glimpse of Little Matt Parkman.
Yeah.
Which I think is his son. Stephanie thinks there was some time travel involved.
They promised that there was going to be no more time travel, and then I think there was some time travel.
So going on to next week, it's a very Ali Lauder-centric sort of episode.
Yeah.
And we're going to learn the identity of Rebel, which, if it's an Ali Lauder-centric episode, that should tell you something.
You think it's Micah.
It's going to be Micah.
He's the only one who could send those messages without a sender. So.
Yeah, and the preview is with Bennett telling whatever her name is, if you let me know who Rebel is, I will let you go. Okay. And she's not going to turn on Micah, because technically they're related. So
yeah. So
there's that. Not much else with TV. It's been kind of a slow last week. This week is really going to kick up, especially tonight, Thursday. We were talking earlier, I think our DVRs are going to start smoking tonight.
It's going to explode because there's so much tonight. A new Office, ER is in the stretch. Possibly, maybe. We think he's going to be on. NBC's playing it real close to the vest, but there'll definitely be Juliana Margulies and Eric LaSalle.
Yeah, and Susan Sarandon.
Susan Sarandon as well. Yeah. So, yeah, The Office, ER. Smallville's back new. Hell's Kitchen is on. Bones.
So a lot to watch tonight.
Right.
I'll be up late tonight watching TV. So, moving on to movies.
It's time for Want to See It, first of all.
And we screwed up Want to See It last week because we saw the movie before we kind of, taped. So.
But, it was Watchmen, so we had to.
So let's just say this. We sat on Watchmen for a few days now. Is there any sort of feeling that came through to you that after you've, let it sit for a while?
No, I still hate it.
Okay. Well, there you go.
So, moving on to the movies that are coming out this week. I guess the big release of the weekend is Race to Witch Mountain.
Yes, which you are very excited about.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't say very, but it's a remake of the classic Disney films Escape from Witch Mountain and Return to Witch Mountain. And it stars Dwayne Johnson, The Rock. So
The Rock Obama.
The Rock Obama. That was funny. My mom loves those Witch Mountain movies, so she's been talking about wanting to see this one for a while. So I am probably going to have to go see it.
It's probably a good popcorn flick.
I'm sure,
Gugino's in it.
Right. I don't think it'll be awful, like you say. It'll be a good popcorn movie, middle of the day on Sunday.
And your other options aren't that great.
Right. What else do I have to choose from?
Miss March, which is a comedy from the whitest kids you know.
Pass.
Their show's on I think it's on Independent Film Channel.
Yeah.
They're really known for their internet stuff.
The movie just looks ridiculous, though.
It looks sort of like an American Pie-ish sort of.
It looks like we've seen all the funny scenes in the commercials.
Yeah. And then on the other side of the spectrum, we have torture porn with Last House on the Left.
The thing is, they're not really advertising this as a torture porn. They're trying to make it seem like a psychological thriller. Family fights back against the bad guys. So I think some people who aren't familiar that it's torture porn are going to get a little surprised when they show up in the theater.
And it's a remake. I do believe, if correct me if I'm wrong, but this is a remake of Wes Craven's very first movie.
Yeah.
The Last House on the Left was his very first movie, and he's involved in this one. So he chose a director, he helped with, everything. I think that would give me a little, if I was into torture porn, knowing that Wes Craven had a hand in it, would make me feel a little better. But I don't watch torture porn, so...
one more note about The Watchmen.
Yes. Watchmen had a pretty good weekend, considering there was no competition.
Sure.
Made $50-something million, a little down from Zack Snyder's 300, which made about $70 million.
Yeah.
Its first weekend. A lot of people are saying, it's an utter failure now, because it didn't make, Batman-type money. And they're saying that he probably should have made it towards general audiences instead of geeky audiences, which is saying he was way too faithful to the book.
Well, you always, whenever you're adapting, you always want to stay faithful to the original so you can, keep some of the integrity of it. But I think the real mistake is that the reason movies like The Dark Knight and 300 and Iron Man make a ton of money is that the fans will see it over and over again. And this is not a movie that's going to inspire a lot of repeat viewers.
No, I don't think I could sit through it even if I wanted to. So.
Right. First of all, it's the length. Secondly, it's the violence. Thirdly, it's the subject matter. Like, it's just not something that you're going to run out to the theater and be like, I've got to see that again.
Yeah, and on the note of being faithful to the original comic, check out our blog later. I will put up synopsises of the first 2 screenplays I think that were written. Mm-hmm. One was by Sam Hamm, and one was David Hayter, I think, who was doing it for Paul Greengrass when he was going to make the movie.
Oh, really?
So I'll put up the how different it would have been, and I'll give you a clue. One of them was set in the 90s.
Wow.
Yeah, so it was dramatically different. So little thing we want to do now, speaking of big movies, we've seen just about every summer movie trailer. I think last year at this time there was a few we still hadn't seen.
Yeah.
So it's really good that this year we've kind of seen them all.
So you can pretty much make out your list of what you're most excited about.
So right now each of us is going to pick 3. We didn't tell each other which one. There's our top 3, which we're going to love to see, can't wait, and the one that we're probably going to skip or something. So I'll let you go first. So you can start at the bottom, start at the top.
My number 3 is, it's kind of tough because there's just a lot of movies that I'm sort of on the fence about, and I feel like I need to hear a little bit more, and I'll probably end up seeing them. Stuff like G.I. Joe. We just saw the trailer for Funny People. But, there's a couple. My number 2, I would say there is a tie between Wolverine, because I can't wait, because I love Hugh Jackman, I love the X-Men, they're probably my favorite superheroes, so I'm excited to see it. Gambit finally shows up, but I've heard some disturbing spoilers from this guy, so I'm a little wary, but I still can't wait to see it. Tied with that is Public Enemies. Johnny Depp, Christian Bale, 1920s gangsters fighting the FBI. It looked great to me. Tim didn't like the trailer, but it looks great to me and I can't wait. My number 1, far and away, I will be there, try to be first in line, is Star Trek. Cannot wait for Star Trek. It just looks like it's going to be spectacular.
Well, my number 3 is Public Enemies. Mm-hmm. The reason I didn't like the trailer is the music choices they put in the trailer. There's like techno music.
There was a rave going on.
Like I thought I needed like a pacifier and like glow sticks getting ready to watch that trailer. I was like, what's going on? So anyways, number 2, Transformers, obviously.
Transformers.
Big movie.
I forgot about
the
that.
trailer's not that, didn't show a lot. It just showed Devastator, the real Devastator, which is where the Transformers all come together and make one giant robot, which I think that I was geeking out big time. And then number 1, which is same as just Star Trek, and like I said last week on the show, when I saw the trailer, it gave me goosebumps.
So can't wait for that.
And trailers don't often do that for me. So when that happens, you've got something there. I think the thing that's gonna win or lose it for that movie is the old-time Star Trek fans. So I'm like waiting to show my dad the trailer, because he's big-time Trekker, sorry. And so if he likes the trailer, then I think we'll kind of know from there. So on to ones that we don't want to see at all. Mine's a tie between G.I. Joe and Wolverine. Just because I know what's going to happen to Wolverine, and I know what they're doing, and I think they should stop right now. And G.I. Joe just looks horrible.
The thing about G.I. Joe, I know I said it was like tied for number 3, and it is. It's like right on that precarious position where I kind of want to see it because it's got people who I like in it, and I am sort of curious of what they're going to do. But at the same time, you could just see that it could just be terribly awful. Yeah. And I feel like they've ruined so much of my childhood already. Yeah.
And take a look at our blog. We'll have more summer movies and our thoughts on, like Up, some of the other smaller movies that, maybe didn't fit on our list for now. So take a look at that.